Welcome back guys to another book review video. In today's episode I will be talking about the book Seat 7A. And like always, let's start with the book cover. And actually the book cover is what first caught my attention when I spotted this book in the bookstore. As you can see, there is like a plain door and like a bloody kind of zombie hand inside, it's creepy looking, and on the back side you have some windows and stuff like that. I really like this book cover. It's really well designed, even though like the artwork itself, it has nothing to do really with the story of this book. And as you can see, this is a Slovenian version, Slovenian translation. And funny thing is that the original title is simply called Seat 7A. But Slovenian translation, the title is Fear of Flying 7A. So I don't know what they were thinking, why they changed this title. And one thing I should add is that you are not gonna guess where I read this book. Like, the book is about flying and fear of flying, and you're never gonna guess where I read this book. That's right, while I was riding on a plane. Like, me and my buddies, we were going on a trip to Japan. And for some reason, I decided to take this book with me, and this was the only book I took with me to our Japan trip. And I was reading it while on the plane, so it was a pretty interesting experience, to say the least. Okay, so what is this book about? Well, our main protagonist is Max Kruger, like an old, kind of really successful psychologist, I think that's how you say it, psychologist. And he's living in, I think, Argentina, somewhere in South America. And because basically his family fell apart, his wife is dead, his daughter hates him, and he's living just there, chilling in his solo, lonely life. And until one day he gets a call, or a text from his daughter back in Germany, that she is pregnant, and she would like to, for him to be present when she gives birth to her first child, his grandson. And it's all good and that, but one thing about our main protagonist, Max Kruger, is that he's afraid of flying. And basically he does this really long and intensive research, like which seat on the plane is the most safe one in a case that the plane crashes. Which seat has the best survival chances, and it's seat 7A, that's why in the title. And he goes on this really long preparation, like weeks and months go by, like he's preparing, to just board the flight and not have a panic attack. And that's where our story begins, him boarding the plane and things going downhill from there. And basically when our main protagonist, Max Kruger, gets on the plane, a few minutes after the liftoff, when they are in the air, when he's trying not to crap his pants, he gets a mysterious call from someone telling him that on the same plane there's this old patient that Max Kruger cured a few years ago, and that patient was trying to shoot up the whole school, and Max Kruger prevented that. He healed them through psychology. And the stranger on the phone tells him that he needs to invoke the old fears and old mental stuff inside that patient again, so the patient will try to hijack the plane and crash it. And yeah, that's where the story gets really interesting, because he's trapped on the passenger plane, and with limited resources he's trying to figure out like who is calling him, why they want to crash the plane, and who is behind all this. And yeah, we also discover who his patient is. And yeah, and at the same time, I forgot to add that there's this kind of how to say it, B story, but B plot, not really a subplot, but it's really connected to the main plot, about his daughter back in Germany, and her birth. Like, she's about to give birth to her baby, and some wild and fucked up things start to happening, like a minor spoiler, she gets kidnapped. I'm not gonna tell what happens next. And yeah, and basically throughout the story you slowly learn how these events are basically connected. You know, her getting kidnapped, and that mysterious voice from the phone telling the Mads Kruger to, you know, to make the old patient angry again, so he will crash the plane and kill everybody on board. Now, one thing that I did found a bit funny about this story, it actually happens pretty early in the story, and I'm gonna talk about slight spoilers now. So if you don't want to get spoiled, click on the time below and skip to the part when I don't talk about spoilers. So you have been warned. Okay. So basically, you know, when Mads Kruger gets that mysterious call from that stranger telling him to invoke like the old fears in his patient, like Mads Kruger, you know, he's a smart guy, and first thing he does, like he tells himself, is like, I'm not gonna go talk to that my old patient again. I'm not trying to fuck things up. I'm just gonna, you know, try to like unravel this mystery, try to find out who is calling me and all that. Like, I'm not going to kill everybody on this board. This is the last thing I'm gonna do. Basically, he tells himself, I'm not gonna go talk to that patient and make him go crazy again. And what's the first thing that he does after he tells himself all that, what he's not gonna do? He goes and talks to his old patient. Yeah, so basically, like, why did you have all that monologue about not doing that, and then going there and doing exactly that in like the next 10 minutes? Like, oh my god, like, I was just kind of, it took me out of the book for a few pages. I was just laughing, like, how can I be this stupid? No, that's like one thing you should not do, is like go talk to that crazy person and make him, you know, go even more mad and crash the plane. But yeah, I guess we wouldn't have this story if you know, our main protagonist wasn't just a little bit crazy. Like, well, not crazy, a bit stupid, you know. He could prevented all this from happening if he didn't go there and talk to his old patient. But okay, that's beside the point. Let's move on. And I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video that this is a psychological horror story. So if you are not into this kind of stuff, then this book is not for you, because some stuff inside it gets pretty dark, pretty fucked up, especially with that what's it called, with the daughter of the main protagonist getting kidnapped, and stuff with her gets pretty fucked up and pretty dark. Like, it's nothing like too crazy, but at the same time it's not like in normal kind of stuff. Also, like the flashbacks when our protagonist Mads Kruger, when he remembers talking to his patient about the almost shooting up the school incident and like stuff there. You know, it's if you are a bit sensitive, I wouldn't really recommend to read this because yeah, school shootings and kidnappings and, you know, forcing someone to do something they shouldn't be doing, and terrorist attack on planes, and yeah. This book gets pretty dark, but surprisingly, when I was reading this book on the plane, I felt fine. You know, I didn't get scared. Oh, we're gonna crash or something like that. I thought this was gonna be like that, but I felt surprisingly fine. So, you know, but maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. And one thing I also enjoyed about this book is towards the end there are a lot of like smaller plot twists. You know, you think you already figure out what's happening in the story, and then like the author pulls the rug underneath you and you fell, and it's like, oh no, it actually goes like this. And then for a few pages you are like, oh, now I get it, now I get what's going on in this story. And then the author again pulls the rug beneath your feet and you fall again, and it's like, it actually goes like this. And then you're like, oh, now I really get it. And then he pulls the rug again and another plot twist, and he goes like, oh no, it actually goes like this, you know. And this happened for that reason, and he did that for that. And yeah, there are a lot of smaller plot twists, like, I wouldn't say like a big plot twist, but a lot of smaller ones, you know, one after the another, in like 50 pages or something like that. So yeah, it's crazy, you know, just going from one direction to another, and you're never gonna know where you end up and like who's responsible for what. So yeah, I think that towards the end this book is really solid, and I actually really enjoyed the ending. It's like, it's, how to say it, it's a bit unique, you know. It's not like sad, it's like a bit bittersweet, you could say, you know. I'm not gonna say what happens, but it felt for me, you know, a bittersweet ending. Oh, and one thing I also enjoyed about this book is that one of the bad guys, I'm not gonna tell you who, gets what he or she deserves. Like, when I was reading this book and they kill that person, okay, I was a little bit of spoilers, but they kill that specific person, I was like, finally, yes. Like some other writers or authors of the books, they would give that bad guy a redemption or something, like, oh, but you know, he's changed now. But in this book you really just feel it. Yes, finally they killed that person. Oh my god, it's so good. Like, oh, finally they get what they deserve. And another thing is that one of the other bad guys, I'm also not gonna tell you who it is, he or she, one of the other bad guys, like, I could kind of see what they were doing, and like, for, you know, I could kind of get behind their motivation for being bad and for wanting to did bad things to another person. And yeah, you know, like, I get it, it's horrible, you shouldn't be doing that in real life, but at the same time, like, I get it why he or she was angry and wanted to do all this. Like, you know, I don't know if the writer was going for this, but again, maybe I'm just weird, maybe I'm a psychopath, let's hope not, okay? I'm just joking. Okay, how will I rate this book from 1 to 10? I think it's a really good psychological horror book from Sebastian Fitzek. Again, really sorry if I butchered your last name. I'm just gonna call you Sebastian. I think it's a really good book. This is my second book that I have read from him. I also have a third book there on the bookshelf. I still need to read that. And I will be also reviewing the first book from him that I've read in near future. I think that one is just a bit better than this one, but this one is also really good. So, how would I rate it from 1 to 10? I think it's a really solid novel. It's creepy, sometimes it gets disgusting and fucked up, and it has a lot of like smaller plot twists towards the end, like one after another. You don't know where the story is going or who's doing what and who's responsible for what. The ending is also very solid, and the characters are interesting. The setting is interesting, you know, being stuck on the passenger plane and trying to figure out who's trying to, set you up to, like crash the plane and kill everybody on board, like with limited resources, and you only have a few hours before landing. So yeah, it's a really good book. I would give it 9.5 out of 10. So 9.5 out of 10 for Seat 7A, or I guess in Slovenian, Fear of Flying 7A. I don't know when to change the title. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next book review video. Bye bye.